That's Dr.YaYa.
Hey, what's going on? Excuse me. I affirm that all is well with you and for you, and things are great. You know what it is. It's me. It's Dr. YaYa. It's your good girlfriend. It's your Judy. It's your auntie. It's your big sis. Y'all know. But whoever I am to you and whatever I'm doing, I'm here to bring you 30 minutes of practical wisdom and common sense. Why? Because it's what I do. And I do what I do. Right? How you doing, Money? It's good to see you. I affirm that you learned everything you need to learn today, that the lesson brought you some productivity, some joy, and some correction in most cases. I also affirm that every bit of inspiration you needed, you got that, and encourage you to press forward and be and do the best that you could possibly be. And it's a great day. It's a wonderful day. It's a lovely day. So we're going to get right into this. I think you guys have seen what this episode is about. It is about, does body count really matter? How you doing, Chris? Raquel says hello, everyone. She says hello. As a matter of fact, I like to wish Raquel a big happy birthday, December 4th. Okay, you guys, so I got this email, right? And you guys know how I get it. You guys know that Raquel gives me the emails right now. I'm getting it as you get it. That's how we like to do it. Why? Because it's authentic. It's rich. You guys love when I get it like this. Okay? You guys love it. So we got an email. And I see the title of this episode. I don't write the titles of these episodes. You guys know who writes them. She's here. She does a great job at it. So when I read the title, like you read the title, I get excited because I don't know what the question is going to be. But I see we're talking about body count. So let's get right into this email, shall we? It says, Dear YaYa, I am 32 years young. Oh, that's cute. I am 32 years young, and the man that I am dating is 35. We have been dating for 8 months. We like honest discussions, or so I thought. He stated that he slept with 12 women. I said that I slept with 20 men. He looked shocked or completely disgusted. Okay. The silence was deafening. And then he shakes his head and says, wow. I got pissed and stormed out. I called him the next day and told him to apologize. He said that he would not. I don't know how to handle this, even though we are still together. I want to know, does body count really matter? Oh, my goodness. I wish I had that. I wish I had that sound bite. Remember that guy? Oh my God, him. I really wish I had that right now. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get that thing. Listen. Okay. Everyone under the sound of my voice. If you can hear me and understand what I am saying, if you are in the chat, I want to know your opinion. Do you think that body count matters? Before I even go into this, do you think body count matters? Yes, no, maybe. Okay. So Chris says it should matter because that was before them. So that's what Chris said. Chris said, if it was before me, it doesn't matter. If you slept with 100 men and I'm 101, then damn it, it was before me. right? So facing E says for men, yes, it absolutely does matter. Okay. Monetary says it depends. It depends. But he also says it's the mindset that matters the most. Well, here we go, y'all. Let's get into it. So she asked Dr. YaYa, does body count really matter? So if we begin to unpack this, before we really get into generalizing it, let's get into her actual email, shall we? Let's get into that first and see how we can just really pull this together, pick it apart, build it up, tear it down, whatever we're going to do with this. So she's 32, he's 35. He's older. He states that he only slept with 12 women. She then turns around and says, well, I slept with 20 men. See, right there, that's an issue for him. It's an issue because here he is, 3 years older than you are, and you slept with 8 men more than he has slept with women. That's an issue. I can see where that would be an issue for him. Sometimes, you start to feel a little bit uncomfortable because we understand that body count, to be clear, means how many people you slept with, not how many people you kissed, not how many people you held hands with, not how many times you looked into Mr. McDreamy's eyes. We actually mean you got down and dirty and did some freaky stuff in between the sheets. We understand what body count is. We are adults. So yes, he has a problem because she slept with 20 men and she's only 32. Yes, I could see where he would have a problem. And I'm sure he was probably thinking, my gosh, I haven't even slept with that many women. It's difficult. We're going to be real. It's difficult for men to accept that their woman has slept around with more people than they have. That's just what it is. That's just a man thought and a man mindset, and he has every right to think that way. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, men don't mind the fact that you've walked up the street. They do have a problem with you being and going around the block. That's just the way it is. We're just going to sit it out there. That's just the way that it is. The second issue that we have with this is that after the deafening silence, this is according to her, right? Well, yeah, Chris, some men, I'll give you that. Some men, the majority of men, right, will have a problem. But we're going to talk about some more things as pertains to that as well. Okay. So she says after the deafening silence that she got, he merely says, wow. And I discussed the fact, how you doing, Chris? It's good to see you, old man. So this is the thing. After the silence, all he could say was, wow. She instantly got pissed off. Do you know why she got pissed off? Because she was offended. Because she said she called him, she stormed out, then she called him the next day and told him to apologize. Well, ma'am, if you're listening to this, and I'm sure that you are, understand that he owes you no apology. He doesn't owe you an apology. You got pissed off because of your perception of his wow. You got pissed off because you are actually embarrassed, right? That's why you got pissed off. You got pissed off because you were embarrassed. Now, if you were fine with your count, like you said, you believe in you guys having honest discussions. If you are fine with your count and you told him 20 and you were fine with that, and you were just like, hey, it is what it is, you would not have gotten upset. So that lets me know that you are not comfortable even with your count. You are not comfortable with that because of your perception. Chris says it's because she was being judged. Listen, we're all judged at some point in time. But if you give 0 Fs, it doesn't even matter. So that lets me know that it mattered to her. about her own count. See, we don't really pay attention to the things that we say. We like to say things like, oh, I'm liberated and I can do what I want to do. I'm a strong, independent woman. And, I do this and I don't need a man and everything like that. And if that's the way you feel, then that's you live with the consequences of that. You live with the consequences of that. One, he does not owe you an apology. He didn't say, wow, well, aren't you the whore? Woo, I didn't know that. All he said was, wow. That was it. He said, wow. He didn't add anything to the wow. He didn't take anything away from the wow. He said, wow. That's quite interesting. Now let's get down to the general basics of this. Does body count matter? Now, understand that this is not about judgment, because that is not what this is about. This is not about any one person or any one thing. If you take it as that, that means you have to look in the mirror and see what's going on with you. But I'm going to tell you why body count absolutely does count. One, your body count tells me about how many partners you've had. Remember, we're talking about things that are deeper than you just laying down with someone, because we know the old adage is every person that you slept with, if I sleep with you, I'm sleeping with them too. Okay? And I understand this question raises a lot of conflict, but I have to know about you being sexually active so I'll know if there's something that I have to look forward to down the line. Okay? So if you say, okay, I slept with, Tammy, Sue, Valerie, and Tina over here, that's good for me to know, especially if Tina has herpes. Okay? I need to know. And you should ask these questions. Those are questions you should ask. People are sensitive because they have in their mind that they're being judged. But again, it's deeper than that. You also have to ask the question, are you having protected sex? Do you have unprotected sex often? If you have sex with somebody on the first date, the first time seeing them, and it's unprotected, you think you are the first? Absolutely not. Yes, this is going to bring up something and cause a lot of conflict, because then we have the stereotype of, oh, well, men can do it, but women can't. Well, that's not true. That's not true, because they both do it. People sleep with who they want to sleep with, and both get judged. I'm certainly tired of hearing about women get slut shamed, and oh, I don't understand. Man is not comfortable within his skin because he slut shamed a woman. Guess what? Men get slut shamed too. We just don't want to talk about it. We just don't want to talk about it. I mean, so much so, if I'm honest, and I always am, before I got married, there was a time that if a man wanted to date me, I want to see a picture of his ex-girlfriend or something. Because if she was ugly, I'm not dating you. Yeah, that's how petty I was, y'all. I know. That's how petty I was, but at least I'm self-aware. Okay? At least I'm self-aware. I had to know. Look, no, you can't. We can't date. No, because you used to dating booger wolves. And if I'm seen out with you, then that's going to be a whole other level, a whole other issue, right? So, so old man says, look, sex without protection is not open for discussion. He says he don't give a damn if it's Janet Jackson, and he loves Janet. Okay? He said he's strapping up. That's just him. So so that's the thing. That's the thing. So we have to understand that yes, body count does matter. And it matters based on the fact that I have to know if you've been sleeping with 20 people and I get something and I know that I've only been with you, you're going to have to contact those 20 people. I have to know where this thing has come from. Okay? Now let's dig a little deeper. Let's dig a little deeper. Not only does the body count matter when it comes to things like sexually transmitted disease, but it also relates to the fact of how you deal with things emotionally. Oh, uh-oh. Y'all not ready for that. Because see, most of the time, most people think that a high body count means I'm just whoring around. I'm promiscuous and I just gotta have sex. And sometimes it does. Sometimes people have a high sex drive and they just say, you know, I like to have sex, and so I'm going to have sex with you. You get sex. You get sex. Oh, you get sex. You know, like you just handing out sex for everybody. Some people are absolutely like that. They are. It does not mean that they're not good people. It just means that they like sex. They're sexually driven, right? But again, let's look at this. Sometimes a high body count is more troubling than we actually think. A person could have a troubled childhood, could have abandonment issues. Even depression causes you to want to go out there and do whatever. You can have a low count as well for the same reasons. So when you're asking someone about their body count, it's not just about the fact that they, you know, laid on their back and that's what they're doing. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. It's a lot when we're considering how we deal with people and how we're in relationship with people. If this person has a high body count and they're with you and it's because they're troubled, they had a troubled childhood and they have abandonment issues, then you have to look at, oh my goodness. So me being with them doesn't stop them from having sex with other people. That's what we don't get about cheating. We don't get that. When a person cheats, it's really not about you, it's really about them. And so, yes, a high body count does matter. Not because I want to judge the fact that you like sex. Hell, I like sex. But for me, it's more quality than quantity. But that's another story. We'll talk about that another time. But yes, you have to know. You have to absolutely know. And we hear a lot of people in this day and age, especially women, mainly women, because they feel like they're being slut shamed, but they don't get that it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that with males as well. I think both should divulge their body counts. And then if you divulge your body count, just like she did, and someone says, wow, that means you have a problem with it. If you in turn get upset. If you say, hey, YaYa, what's your body count? And I give you a number, and then you say to me, whew, well, damn, girl, and I get upset with you, that means I have a problem with my own body count. Right? That means I take issue with it. Not just because you said that. So it is an issue. It's not only an issue, you know, again, because of the physical aspect of it, but it's an issue because of the emotional and mental aspect of it. Sometimes you have to sit down and do a self-assessment and say, damn, why did I sleep with so many people? What was I missing in my life that I slept with these people back to back, back to back, back to back? The hell was I thinking? So yes, it does matter. Not only for the other person, but for you. It matters. Sometimes we just like to do a self-assessment with the things that we think, or if we're having a bad day, or if we're on the job and we haven't been productive. But you have to do that with your physical life as well. And I'm not just talking about working out so you can get rid of your high blood pressure and your diabetes. I'm talking about your sexual activity as well. You have to think back and say, ooh, now I know most of us have thought back and said, oh my gosh, why in the hell did I sleep with him? What the hell was I thinking? Or rolled over and said, that is not the girl I brought home last night. I understand that. I get it. Yes, that has absolutely happened. I know not to y'all because y'all sophisticated, but you know, some of the people I know, we're not so sophisticated. We made some tough decisions. You understand me? But yes, you have to do a self-assessment. That has to be done in every area of your life. If you give yourself a spiritual assessment, you've given yourself a mental, a psychological assessment, but you have not given yourself the sexual assessment. That's got to be a tough feeling to understand that you can't even go out to a restaurant because your significant other has slept with so many people that you will encounter one of them going in or coming out. Come on, y'all. We got to get down to the matter and understand that these things do matter. It matters. Yes, it does. And so for all of these relationship experts and so-called dating coaches who say, you know what? Y'all need to stop asking a woman about her body count. It doesn't matter how intimate it was, you know, it just doesn't. Yeah, yes, it does. Oh, you a lying wonder. Oh, yes, it does matter. And then we have a mindset that we're supposed to either hide it because it does matter, right? We're supposed to hide it and lie about it. I mean, hell, you would know. Or make excuses for it. That's in essence what you're being taught when you hear other people say, oh, it really doesn't matter. You're slut shaming. No, you're slut shaming yourself. Okay, most men can answer it not because they're bragging. Most men can answer it because it is what it is. That's just what it is. Yep, I did it. Right? And if you say you want to be liberated and you say you want, you know, to be equal and you say you want to, you know, take control and have power over your sexual prowess, tell the truth and let the chips fall where they may. But most of the time, women give these numbers because they've heard these so-called experts. They give these numbers and then they give them with excuses. You know those excuses. Oh, you know what? I yeah, I did. I slept with like 30 men, but you know, I was young. Or, you know, when you're crazy in college, stuff like that. But you don't have to make those type excuses when you understand that, guess what? It matters what my number is. Wouldn't that be something? If a man asked a woman, you know, what's your body count? She didn't get offended. And she said, well, I slept with about 10 guys, but I do have certain insecurities. Wouldn't that be something? I think a person would be more understanding if you are honest. But like I always say, people love to be real when they don't have to be vulnerable. But that doesn't heal anything. That doesn't cause relationships to grow. And we like to think as women, we like to think that, oh, I had sex because I enjoy sex. Women enjoy sex just as much as men, right? And they do. But the majority of women who have a strong body count is not because she enjoyed sex so much. It's because she was missing something emotionally. Let's just be real. It's because something was missing emotionally. She wanted to get close. She wanted to fill a void. But, you know, I understand that women won't admit to anything like that. Some woman is going to hear this show and write me a hateful email more than likely. But let's just be real. On both ends of the scale, it does matter. He might have been missing something too. You don't know. But see, it's more than you just giving a number with excuses. It's you giving a number saying, whew, this is where I am. This is who I am. Yeah, I did it. I know I shouldn't have had sex with two brothers, but I was really in love with the one. And so the other one, I wanted to make the other one, you know, jealous. Tell the damn truth. Again, people can be real as long as they don't have to be vulnerable. Look, Chris says some of his bodies were because their friends talked about it. That's how some things go too, right? Ooh, you know, Chris is good in bed. Really, girl? Oh my gosh. And then she gonna go over to Chris. Here come Tina, Chris. Tina is on the way. Chris, let me holler at you for a minute. You know, you know, Georgina said you was putting it down. You know, I'm just trying to see something. You know, is that what people say? I'm just trying to see something. Yes, that's how it happens. And what does Chris do? Chris is like, well, hell yeah. You want to see, and I'm looking. Okay. That's what it is. You know, like, you want to see and I'm looking. So let's do it. So everybody has a body count for different reasons. And instead of being angry because you think you're being judged because of your body count, why don't you evaluate why you have the body count that you do? That's what's going to move the relationship forward. Not you making excuses, not you telling her she's a slut, not you telling him he's less of a man if you just don't accept it. Let's get to the root cause of it. Oh my goodness. You're only 30 years old and you've already slept with 40 people. That's a problem. That's a problem. You are looking for something. And most of the time when we look for something emotionally, we'll go to it physically. We'll try to feel that thing in a tangible way. But we don't want to say that. People don't like to say that. Some men like to say, well, I have a high body count because I got you know, my thing big. I just like to sling that thing. But you don't want to be honest over the fact that you just really want a woman to love you for you. Damn. And then we have women. Oh, well, you know, I done slept with this many men because, you know, I'm sexually active and I shouldn't be ashamed of me because I like to have sex. When actually what you wanted to say was, I was abandoned. I experienced so many things as a child that sometimes I just want to be close to somebody. But they end up leaving in the morning. So guess what? I got to start this feeling all over again. Be real. So yes, body count matters, but not in the way that you think, not in the way that you're taught, not in the way that you're told. Point blank, period. We have to consider some other factors that have given us this particular body count, as it were. It's much deeper than that. And once you realize that, accept it, evaluate it, deal with it, be honest with it, then you're ready to move forward and do what you need to do to be healed and to be whole so you don't feel like you're being judged about it. That's right, y'all. That's it. This has been 30 minutes of practical wisdom and common damn sense, because that's what I give to y'all. It's what I do. Remember, you are loved, you are valued, and you are appreciate it. I love you much, and I will see you on the next episode.